Hello and welcome to all of you beautiful Scorpio babes out there. Oh, let's start that over. Hello and welcome to all of you beautiful Scorpios out there. If you are a Scorpio sun, moon, rising, or Venus, this is your tarot reading for the upcoming month of September. And in case anybody is curious, I will be using the Tarot of the Sacred Feminine for you this time around, Scorpio. So let's get started. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups upright. We have the King of Swords upright. And then at the bottom of the deck, excuse me, we have the Four of Cups reverse. So it's possible that you're moving away from a sense of pessimism. You might have been going through some sort of really drastic hardships, I'll say. Really drastic hardships that kind of forced you to clear your mental space, to reconnect with the strength and power you have in terms of your mental capacity. Maybe you were struggling with some mental health due to a situation that was causing you to kind of not see the bright side, not look at what you do have that you can show gratitude for. But these cards here are telling me you're moving out of the storm. You are slowly coming back to yourself. You're going from the unconscious habits of just looking at the lack and what you don't have and moving towards that gratitude, moving towards the dawn, moving out of the pessimism is what wants to come through. And I think it's a really, really good omen for what's to come for September. It's you're really showing mental strength that maybe you didn't tap into previously. And that mental strength is going to carry you through. You might even be connecting with like lineages, like ancestors of on your women's side, specifically your mother's side. It could also just be you connecting to, past versions of yourself as well. Maybe you're allowing your inner child to take over where when this situation that caused this pessimism, or it might not even be a situation, it might be you've just been struggling with mental health just because life is hard. And that's absolutely valid. But you're now in the month of September not only mastering your mindset, you're coming to terms with accepting how you've been feeling and what you can do to help adjust those feelings, what you can do to become a master of your mind rather than letting these mental health issues really dictate how your life goes day to day. And you're allowing yourself to tap into that inner child, or again, it could be guides and ancestors helping you through this process. Take it as it resonates, but you could really be tapping into that inner child to let them show you what there is and how much abundance there really is that you can be grateful for in this time. And because you are allowing yourself to be open to that abundance, you're seeing more and more things to be grateful for. And it's helping you again find that mastery over your mind and it's really healing. It's a healing energy through mastery. And it's healing through acceptance. It's not even healing through your feelings, it's healing through acceptance, like radical, radical acceptance of where you are now and what brought you here and how you can reconnect to the beauty and the wisdom and the gifts of both the people that came before you and the past versions of yourself. You're finding those past versions of yourself that you may have left behind, as you continue to age. Let's see, are these both reverse? So we had Three of Swords upright, Three of Swords upright, um, Nine of, no, so this is reverse. So that's Six of Cups reverse. And then this one's also reverse. What number is that? That is 14, and Temperance reverse. So it's a really interesting dynamic. So while you are gaining more control over your mind, you're still having trouble connecting with like simplistic pleasures in that way. So you're being led by that childlike innocence with like to amplify the gratitude and curiosity for the world around you and really see what you do have to be grateful for. But there are still parts of yourself that feel lost. There are parts of yourself that you're grieving when you look back on them because you feel like they're inaccessible to you now. You feel like they were left behind and maybe you did face some heavy trauma or heavy losses in your past that caused you to drastically change who you are as a person. And they might be coming back up to the forefront during the month of September and in a really heavy way, in a way that you're reminiscing, but it's like a feeling of loss rather than a feeling of like joyful reminiscence. And that's all coming back to help you understand that these parts of yourself are never actually lost to you. While you have grown and morphed and changed as a person, these parts of yourself are never actually lost to you. And the temperance reverse is almost like a guidepost. It's saying this upright temperance energy is still there. It's still available for you to tap into, but right now you're focusing on the fact that you are separate rather than it's almost like you feel physically separated from your higher spiritual purpose, your divine wisdom, your divinity in general, your creativity. And the temperance reverse, it's not coming out to say that you are separate. It's you're feeling this way right now, but at any moment you can access this upright temperance energy where you are being that divinely guided, creative, passionate, amplified version of yourself that welcomes in new opportunity for growth and creativity and all of that. But I think before that can happen, you have to allow yourself to grieve those parts of yourself that are no longer, or I should say, those parts of yourself that you do feel that have been lost in time, lost in space, lost because of really tragic circumstances. And that's where I believe that Three of Swords energy is coming in. There is a heartbreak, there's a sense of loss and grief and like like a tightening of your heart. It feels like as you're going to be moving through these feelings of grief and loss, it's you're going to feel you're going to feel heavy. And you're while that's happening though, you're going to have this mastery over your mindset where your mind isn't judging you for feeling what you're feeling. Your mind isn't judging you for not feeling what you needed to feel back in the day, which is what's causing all of this to resurface now. Your mind is, again, radically accepting where you are in the present moment. And it's that radical acceptance, that ability to look back, even and face the losses, face the trauma, face the hurts that were still lingering. So you can bring them back up and say, this is something I needed to feel back in the day. I wasn't prepared to do it then, but I'm going to not I'm going to show a sense of gratitude even for the hurt, even for the sorrow. And I'm going to look at this in an optimistic mindset where what I'm feeling now, these feelings have been stagnated in me, and because I'm allowing myself to feel them now, because I'm welcoming in the energy of release, all of this feeling, it's heavy right now, but it's temporary. And what comes next will help me feel much lighter. It will help connect me to new opportunities for creativity and for abundance and for everything that I'm seeking. Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck and the Fool. Wheel of Fortune and the Fool just fell out. So that just kind of amplifies what I was just saying. It's you giving yourself the permission to feel through these heavy pains. And you don't have to do this alone. I think that needs to be emphasized right now. It's really important to lean on your support system, whether that's a therapist or, your family, your friends, your chosen family, your partner, whoever it is. You don't need to be telling them everything you're moving through. It's just keeping that open line of communication and saying, I may be a little off right now. It's because I'm really not feeling well. Things are coming back up and I just need to process them. And allowing yourself to be seen and heard and felt and cradled in your process of healing too. That's part of what the threes are. It's about allowing yourself to lean on your community. And while Three of Swords is heartbreak, it's also having the strength to be seen in that heartbreak and letting your loved ones know that, what you're going through now is purposeful. And again, it's going to be hurt and pain, and September might be a really heavy month for you, but as you navigate through that, you're welcoming in new beginnings. And not only that, the more you're able to feel through what you're going through, or I should say what you have been through, the more you're welcoming that energy that can help you connect to your authenticity, which will bring growth and abundance and expansion and just and good luck in what's to come. And the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune together is gorgeous because it's the 0 and then the 10. That's the completion of the first cycle. And it's really emphasizing that if you deal with what you need to deal with in the present moment, and in this case in the month of September, you will have opportunity for growth and luck will be on your side for these new opportunities that come in. But first, we need to sit and be present in this discomfort. We need to sit and honor the need to feel and process and release and feel and process and release, however long that takes. And you know this. That's why that the King of Swords was one of the first cards to come out. It's showing mastery and understanding. And King of Swords is also a card of isolation. So this is something that what you're feeling, you will have to work through on your own because only you know what you're dealing with, only you know what you've been through, only you know how you need to heal yourself. But again, it doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Healing is an individual process, but with community to lean on, it makes it so much better. Oh my God, there is a Da Vinci photo. I'm gonna grab the book. Bear with me. Okay, I just ran around my whole house looking for this book and it was right next to me on my desk. Thought I was going crazy, but this. So this is from Art Psalms, Alex Rice. This is just a sketch he did of one of Da Vinci's works, but so that's Da Vinci in the middle being cradled. This is right after he finished one of his pieces and he was exhausted. He was on his last legs essentially. Like this piece almost killed him because of all of the energy he put into it. And that's what you're going to be feeling. You're going to be feeling like you are using all of your energy, your time, your resources to move through and feel through what you need to go through. You can tell he's depleted. He can't even stand on his own 2 feet, but he has the support of his family and his community to hold him up, even when he is feeling the um. Oh, this is Michelangelo. Regardless, he has the support of his people that recognize that he is going through the trenches, that he is going through the depths of his soul and his being because he needs to. And in that case, he was producing art and like but art from the soul. And in a way, that's what you're going to be doing as you're moving through this healing. It's you are allowing your soul to become art once more by feeling through it. And before I stopped that, we had the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So as you are moving through this pain and this heartbreak and everything, you might feel like you are in a prison of your own making, and that's the theme of the Eight of Swords. It is of your own making, but at any moment, you can choose to free yourself from that prison and go back to the castle and find warmth and a nice hearty meal. And that emphasizes that symbolism as well as how you don't have to do it alone. It's the Eight of Swords, it's a radical choice to say, and I think in this case, the Eight of Swords is always being imprisoned by your own mindset, but you already showed mastery of your mindset. So I think this is more so emphasizing the need for community in this. In the Rider Waite deck, the Eight of Swords shows a woman in a barren field. There's 8 swords staked into the ground, and she's also staked there with her hands behind her back and a blindfold on, and she's just in the middle of nowhere. But her hands aren't actually bound behind her back, and nobody put her there. She put herself there. That's the whole thing. It's a self-imposed prison, and it's you have the option here to either ceaselessly and endlessly suffer and not have your mindset in that place of of acceptance of what's going on. And that's what the Eight of Swords is. It's fighting against the current. It's trying to fight against the inevitable, and that healing is what is inevitable in this month of September. You're fighting against the inevitable. You're trying so hard not to heal yourself. You're trying so hard not to feel what you need to feel. But if you accept the fact that this is for my own good, I'm moving through these things so I can release them so they no longer plague me and weigh me down and make me feel like I'm in prison anymore. You're going to be moving through those, and then again, so Rider Waite deck, she's in the middle of the field. There's the stakes in the ground. She's got a blindfold, hands behind her back. But in the distance, less than a mile away, up on a hill, there's a castle. The castle's got the hearth going. You can see the smoke coming out of the chimney. And in that castle, there are people that are there to help you. There are people that are there to replenish you, to give you the nutrients and the love and the comfort that you need to work through whatever you need to work through. So you are not imprisoned by these feelings. You are not imprisoned by your past. And especially if you have that mindset of acceptance as you're moving through these things, it's going to make it a million times easier to navigate. And again, while the healing it's a solitary practice, it's a solitary thing that you have to go through, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. So, in the month of September, Scorpio, allow yourself to be seen and cradled and loved through it all. And I know you guys have a really tight circle. I know it's hard for you to open up to people. So, even if you just choose one person to say, I'm going to need a little bit of extra loving this month. You don't need to tell them why, you don't need to tell them how. You just say, just hold me, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally, however it may be. Just welcome in the help, welcome in the community, welcome in the fact that even in your darkest hours. You are worthy of that love. You are worthy of being held. You are worthy of being seen. And you are worthy of feeling the things that need to be felt so you yourself can feel lighter in the end. Again, Scorpio, I think September it might be really heavy for you, but it's all for the better. And once you move through that heaviness again, the Fool, brand new beginnings, and Wheel of Fortune, fortune will favor you in these new beginnings. But before that can happen, you have to release. And I think this is all coming up because whatever this new beginning is, it's going to be palpable for you, but you can't carry your extra baggage with you towards this new beginning. You don't have enough room. There's no overhead bin. You can't carry what doesn't serve you for your highest good. And that's the reason why this is all coming up right now. It's to serve you in the long run. It's to serve you and help you release what no longer resonates. As I'm saying, release what doesn't resonate. So we have the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You don't have to bury the weight of the world on your shoulders. You don't have, did I say bury? I meant bear. You also don't have to bury the weight of the world in your subconscious because you don't feel like dealing with it now. There's never mistakes with the slip of the tongues when it comes to tarot readings. The Ten of Wands is an invitation to acknowledge that weight, acknowledge the bearing that you have to do, because once you choose to bear it with acceptance and release it and feel it, you only have up to go. You only have new beginnings awaiting you. And Eight of Pentacles here. So it's going to be hard work and you're going to need to be diligent and patient with yourself through the process. And again, that the emphasis here is that it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. And September may be a heavy month for you, Scorpio, but it's a month that offers healing and release so you can finally move on with your life and not be so closed up and stuck in your heart. It'll open you up in ways that are just so freeing. It'll help you reconnect with your inner child and come back home to yourself. Come back home to your creativity and your spirituality and that sense of divine balance. It's a radical acceptance of these things will be painful and they will hurt, but I'm going to regrow. I don't have to be stuck with these same roots. I don't have to keep telling myself the same story of my pains and my hurts and my traumas. The more I tell that story, the more I resonate with it, the more it sticks to me. But I want to work hard and I want to change my story. I don't want to be defined by my hurts and my traumas and my pain. I want to have an optimistic mindset for what's to come, and I want to accept the fact that what's to come is going to bring me good fortune and luck and beauty. And it's just me taking the steps to radically accept where I am and radically accept the help that my community wants to offer me. And through all of that, my mind is going to be in this place where I know I am the warrior I need to be to move through what I need to move through. So it's just about the fact that if I have my mental health in check, okay, how can I cleanse my emotional health too? And ultimately, feeling is actually the hardest part of it. Feeling is the hardest part of it. And Scorpios, I think for out of all the water signs, I think you guys have the hardest time moving through your feelings. And I just want to speak solely on the symbolism of each of the signs. Cancers are crabs. They're able to move in and out of the waters really easily. So they can move into those emotional depths and feel through them and let the waves crash over them. And they're still fine. And then if they need a break, they can just step back out onto the sand, into the sun and dry off, and that's that. Pisces, of course, and of course, the waters represent your emotional depths here. Pisces are fish. They're always in those emotional depths, which is why they are so spiritual because they're always connected to to those emotions, to that intuition, to the flow of life and how it wanes and goes in and comes out and all of those things in between. But Scorpios, you guys are Scorpions. You're in the desert. The desert hasn't seen water in centuries, billions of centuries, like such a long time. So while you are able to recognize these emotions, it might be more difficult for you to actually move through them, accept them, and process them because they kind of go against your nature. But that doesn't mean you are incapable. That does not mean you are incapable. You hold this generational wisdom when it comes to emotional balance and moving through those emotional depths. And while it's not something you can easily do in the presence. It's something that you have an innate wisdom built into you that helps you move through it. So this will be all about accepting, and again, Eight of Cups, all about accepting the help from your ancestors and your lineage and trusting that divine wisdom that you hold within you to move you through this. And this makes me really excited for your October reading too, because again, I think September will be really heavy, but as long as you flow with the tides of these emotional clearings and healings, if you work diligently towards it and release that burden that you have, that you've been holding on to for far too long, this new beginning again is going to be palpable for you. Palpable. That was a beautiful reading, and it feels very complete. Thank you guys for tuning in. And of course, this was a general reading. So if you want a more in depth, more personalized reading, check out my website or my Patreon in the bio. I have options on both of those to get another reading there. But otherwise, Scorpios, you guys got this. You guys got this. Move through these feelings with a sense of dignity because you have that within you, acceptance. You're worthy of releasing what does not serve you so you can continue to grow and accept the abundance that's waiting for you. I love you guys.